And welcome back to Inside the Valley on this Sunday morning. Well, summer is just around the corner. However, those summer temperatures feel like they're already here. Look Before You Lock initiative is geared towards making sure that you don't forget about your child in your car. Talk a little bit more about Look Before You Lock. We have a professional here, Janet Welsh. Janet,
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me here
Okay,
today.
so this is not just an initiative for the summer. It's pretty much all year, especially if you
In the
live
valley.
in the valley or temperatures where it's extremely warm.
Right.
Talk a little bit more about Look Before You Lock.
Look Before You Lock is a Kids in Cars initiative that started several years ago, mainly because we are so multitasking and people think, how can you leave a child in a car? And it's very easy to do. One, the car seats now are rear facing, so you don't see the child's back there.
Right.
Two, some of our deaths are attributed to a change in the normal routine. Maybe it's one parent takes the child to daycare every single day, but today they can't, so they ask an aunt, a grandma, the other spouse, and they get to work, and you know, we get on autopilot when we get in that car and they forget that the baby's back there, especially if they're sleeping. So it's very easy. So some little things that you can do if there is a change in the normal routine is to text each other, hey, you dropped the baby off.
Right.
You can call the daycare and say, hey, I'm not dropping the baby off today, so-and-so is, can you please call me if they're not there in 5 minutes. You know, put some steps in place if you have a change of that normal routine.
Now, already this year we've had a few scares.
Right. We've already had 3 near misses here in the valley.
Right. And no deaths or anything for the
No.
past 5 years, is that
Right.
correct?
5 years. No
But again,
deaths.
3 misses.
And that's scary.
That's a lot. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's scary because a lot of times, and I think a lot of people don't realize it's a Class C misdemeanor in the state of Texas to leave your child unattended in the car. And so sometimes we think, you know what, I'm just going to run into Walmart real quick or Walgreens real quick, and it's not going to be a big deal. And it is a big deal.
Right.
If the temperature outside, which it usually is here, 100 degrees, in 10 minutes in the car it's 140.
Right.
10 minutes more, a child under 4 can expire.
Right.
You know, it only takes 15, 20 minutes to die in a hot car, and if you're going to run in someplace, that is exactly usually how long you're in there.
Exactly.
And so I think we fail to realize how quickly children heat up 5 times faster than we do. So we can sit in a hot car and it's not that bad, but a child's body heats up 5 times faster.
Now, what should somebody do if they come across a vehicle where there's a child?
Stop and call 911.
Okay.
And I get people that say, oh, you know what, I saw that the other day. And I go, what did you do? And, well, I just kept walking. No, you need to stop and call 911. Now, if the child's actively crying, you can wait until the police arrive. There is the Good Samaritan law now, which covers you if you do break the car window to get the child out. We prefer you just call 911.
Sure.
But if you see the child is already non-responsive, and it's hard to tell if your baby is sleeping or if they're non-responsive.
Yeah.
But when in doubt, break the window and then move the child to a cooler area, whether it's the shade or into the store if it's in a parking lot. Usually you can wait till the responders get there. They're usually pretty quick and they can get and help. You know.
Now, you were mentioning a little earlier, kind of change up your routine. You know,
Yeah.
as you said, you get into autopilot. A lot of people, when they hear about, you know, parents or a caretaker or anybody leaving a child in a hot car, they can't get their mind around that. How is that comprehensible? So you said change up your routine a little bit. I know you brought a little teddy bear
Yes,
here with
there's
you.
several things you can do. You can first avoid the situation by, you know, always looking before you lock, locking your car so a child can't get in an unlocked car. Then you can create some ideas to remind yourself. Everybody's different. PetSmart is nice enough to donate these, and you can put these in the back seat when there's no child in the car. This is in the front seat as a visual reminder the child's in the back seat.
Right.
You can put your cell phone back there. Nobody forgets a cell phone. You can put something you need for work, your ID badge, your briefcase, your purse back there.
Yeah.
Something that makes you get into that back seat and look before you lock.
Absolutely.
But just even stepping back and clearing that back seat before you take off, you know, is another good thing.
Absolutely. Now, it's not just, you know, you put the child into the car seat and you drive somewhere and you forget your child. There's also the problem where you have a party, you have people over, you're not really watching your children, and they kind of wander away and they can still get into a car.
Exactly.
So you should always have your vehicle locked.
Always in the driveway, or whether it's at a barbecue or a party, always have those car doors locked. It's very easy for a child. Sometimes they're older, 3 or 4, and they're tired, and or they left a toy and they want to go back and get it. And they open that car, the door's shut, the safety locks go on. Sure. They can't get out, parents don't know they're in there, and by the time they're found, they're expired. So if you do have a child missing, the first place you look is a body of water. Pool, tub, coolers. Coolers are becoming huge drowning events, and of course toilets.
Yeah.
Then the second place is your car. Third place, your car trunk. So always do that. We have, every year in Texas, we have 1 or 2 children that die because they've gotten in a hot car. And then they look all over the neighborhood for this child when it's right in the driveway.
Yeah.
So always look at those cars first before you venture off to something else.
Yeah, absolutely. Now,
Yes.
what about education? If you have a couple different children, you may have a newborn, but you may have a child who is 5 or 6. Should you educate the 5 or 6-year-old about the dangers of it?
Right. We never play in driveways. We never play in cars.
Right.
Those are for adults. And so, parents also need to keep those key fobs and keys
Yes.
out of reach of children, because it's easy to click those and then the car doors open and then they're in.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, is to keep those out of reach as children as well.
And Janet, where can people get a little bit more information to maybe learn about the dangers, or,
Well,
again,
you have kids. We have the kidsincars.org. You have safekids.org. Safe Riders is the Texas initiative here. You can call our hospital. I have a ton of information, and we do talk about this every day. Governor Abbott did a House bill back in 2015 where he mandates hospitals are supposed to teach this before, and let parents know there's a danger of, or a risk of death of leaving your child unattended in a car.
Yeah.
So that's one of those initiatives that Texas went beyond just having a law punishable. They went ahead and made state hospitals responsible, not state hospitals, but all hospitals responsible to teach this.
Absolutely.
And we do in our class there at Women's.
Hey, well, Janet, I appreciate you being on this show on this Sunday
Yes,
morning with
yes,
this
it's
great
always fun.
initiative. Yeah, absolutely, and thanks for educating us again. Very important,
Yeah.
folks. If you do come a child who is inside a locked vehicle, call 911. Again, though, if you do see that the child is suffering, make sure you break that window, get in there, get the child out, take him to shade, get some water, whatnot. Some more information there posted on your screen if you'd like to find out a little bit more about Look Before You Lock. Janet, again, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Folks, that's going to do it for us for Inside the Valley on this Sunday morning. Hope you enjoyed the show. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I look forward to seeing you back here next Sunday. Take care.